Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something really extraordinary.
Yeah, it's definitely not your standard source material.
No, not an article, not research. It's this very personal message,
Yeah.
but it's wrapped up in a really whimsical story. Unexpected.
Definitely unexpected. And you can kind of tell right away there's something more going on beneath the surface.
Absolutely. So it kicks off with the creator just laying it all out there. Real anxiety, disappointment. They're making these animal videos, channels called Mirror and Dot Dot, and they've got this huge dream, right? 1 million followers.
Yeah, the big million. But
But the views are low. They feel like the audience, just isn't there anymore, not connecting.
right.
And there's this palpable feeling they might just pack it in, give up on the dream.
And that opening, wow, it's pretty masterful, isn't it? Because it just hits you with this vulnerability,
Truly.
this struggle. It hooks you emotionally and draws you right into what the creator's facing.
And you feel it.
And it all builds up to this really direct ask, Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and support.
The Mirror and Dot Dot channel. Every bit of support helps us keep going. Yeah, it's right there.
Exactly. And that setup, for you, the listener, it's so crucial. It primes you, really.
Primes you for what?
Well, for what we figure out later, that this whole thing, the story, the emotion, it's actually this clever commentary.
Ah, okay. So right after that heavy opening, the creator completely switches things up.
Right. Suddenly we're in this, animal world.
Yeah, we dive into the story of this silly cow. That's what it's called initially.
Useless, a coward, runs away defeated.
But then it finds its own kind, sticks with it, and somehow transforms.
Yeah, into a goose. A determined goose, ready to, build a life.
Quite a shift.
That transformation and even the change of scene, it feels significant somehow.
So what's the first thing this new goose does?
Collect stones, that's the mission. And the source is clear. More stones means you're more attractive. To find a mate.
Right, that's like currency.
Exactly. And everyone can see the effort, the pile growing, but that visibility, well, it attracts attention. Not all good.
Uh-oh.
It almost feels like the creator's using this bit to mirror that, foundational work in any creative thing.
Yeah, like the grind you have to put in.
The visible effort, sometimes tedious, building something out of nothing.
That makes sense. It's like laying the groundwork, that initial investment. Because the source says, in this world, true love is a myth.
Pretty much. It's cutthroat, apparently.
If you can steal a stone, you just do it.
Yep. And our goose, the one working hard, totally oblivious at first, just thinks, keep working, more stones will come.
But someone else is watching. Another male goose.
And he's stealing the stones, pilfering away while our guy isn't looking.
Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. Maybe the deeper layer you mentioned.
I think so, yeah. This theft, it's more than just plot, right? It feels like a metaphor.
For what? Like people copying content.
Exactly, or stealing ideas, or maybe even just, poaching audience attention online. That feeling creators get.
Ah, I see. That anxiety about the competition in the digital world.
Where maybe taking shortcuts looks really tempting, and the source says the thieving goose gets away with it once.
And gets hooked.
Yeah, addicted to the ease of success. It's a pretty strong commentary on, quick wins versus real effort.
So our main goose gets robbed twice and then finally starts to suspect something.
Right, the penny drops, starts counting the stones, realizes, hey, wait a minute.
There's a thief around. And the creator throws in this philosophy nod.
Yeah, it's clever. So something like, as the ancient Greek philosopher, but calls him Goose.
Goose.
One said, you cannot step into the same river twice.
Meaning?
Well, it signals a change, right? The old way, just working hard blindly, isn't working anymore. Time for a new strategy.
Gotcha. That naive belief is kind of shattered.
It is. It's like that tough moment of realization, maybe for creators too, realizing effort alone isn't always enough.
You have to adapt. Like Goose said about the river always changing.
Exactly. The digital landscape, algorithms, audience tastes, they're always shifting. You gotta adapt or get left behind.
Okay, so things are heating up now. What's the plan?
The goose pretends to go out again, like it's collecting more stones.
But it's a trap.
Yep, an ambush, ready to catch the thief. And it does, shouts, you jerk.
Huh. But it's not that simple, is it?
No, because while it's focused on that thief, another one tries to sneak in from the blind spot.
No, man, it's a coordinated attack.
Almost. But instinct saves our goose, turns just in time.
Wow. That sounds exhausting, emotionally draining.
Totally. So much so that it decides, okay, new plan, moves away, finds a quiet corner.
To build a new nest.
Right, a new nest, but on the edge. The source calls it a strategic advantage.
Strategic how?
Maybe easier to defend. Or maybe it's just commentary again, like finding a new niche.
Adapting. Pivoting when the main space gets too crowded or hostile.
Exactly. That constant search for an edge that creators do. Finding your little corner to survive, maybe even thrive.
Okay, so new nest, strategic location.
Right.
And
The female geese arrive. Showtime.
does anyone like the new nest?
One does. She inspects it really carefully. Doesn't say no right away.
Ooh, a glimmer of hope.
Definitely. That moment of possibility.
Like getting that first positive comment or sign of engagement on your work.
Exactly. That feeling of, okay, maybe this will work. That little bit of validation.
So our goose is feeling hopeful, tries to impress her more.
Yeah, it picks up even a tiny stone nearby. Like, see? Still working. Every little bit helps, right?
And she seems touched by the effort.
And then...
Bam!
Don't tell me.
Friend zone card. +1.
Oh no, the classic, you're a good guy.
You'll find someone better. Ouch! You can almost feel the goose's heart break.
Does it plead?
Oh yeah. No, please don't go.
Even throws in this line, my dog even barks at empty bowls, which is weirdly specific.
Huh. Desperation. But does it work?
Nope, because then this other goose, a bulky male.
With a bigger pile of stones, let me guess.
You got it. Bigger pile. Flirts shamelessly, and she just goes with him.
Wow. That's brutal.
It really is, and it captures that feeling, doesn't it, of pouring your heart and effort into something.
And it's just not enough. Or someone else gets the reward with seemingly less work.
Exactly. Like those online algorithms or trends where someone with the bigger pile of stones, maybe more followers, or just luckier viral content wins easily.
That friend zone card is such a relatable metaphor for creators feeling unseen, despite the grind.
It really lands that feeling of unfairness, that rejection.
So that moment, that real low point for the goose, that humiliation, it really connects back to the start, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Back to the creator's own vulnerability we heard at the beginning.
It feels like this whole animal story wasn't just random.
Not at all. The goose realizes it's home, the stones were stolen, and now the potential mate is gone too. Just loss after loss.
Does it fight back?
Tries to. Fights for what it thinks is right.
Well,
Loses, as you'd expect, maybe. Watches her walk away. Makes one last plea.
which just leads to more humiliation.
Pretty much, yeah.
So this whole journey, the initial pain, the transformation, building something, the theft, the rejection,
It all serves as this really elaborate, kind of painful commentary on making stuff online, content creation itself.
it makes you think, yeah, why tell this story this way?
Exactly. What's the purpose behind it all?
Okay, so let's wrap this part up. We've gone from the creator feeling like quitting
Mm-hmm.
through this whole surprisingly intense goose narrative struggle, theft, rejection, that final humiliation.
Right, down to the bottom.
And then comes the big twist, the reveal.
The creator pops back in and says,
Just kidding, about quitting.
yeah. It's such a brilliant meta moment, isn't it?
It really is. So what was the point of all that then?
Well, the creator explains it. They specifically call out this trend they've noticed since May 2025, apparently,
Okay.
where other animal video creators are, quote, selling misery for sympathy,
Yeah.
using sadness to get views or support.
Playing on emotions.
Right. And their goal with this whole elaborate goose story was the opposite.
To make you smile.
To make you smile, yeah.
Yeah.
Despite the roller coaster, which raises huge questions, right?
About authenticity online, emotional manipulation in content.
Exactly. It forces you, the listener, to think critically about the emotional stuff you see online. Why is it being presented that way?
What's so clever is using that relatable struggle, the goose building, the nest, the thief, the rejection, things we can kind of understand,
Basic struggles.
to subtly build up this bigger message about the real reasons behind the content we watch.
It encourages you to look past just the surface story. What's the creator really doing here?
So if we zoom out, what does this deep dive tell us overall?
Well, it shows how narrative can be used, right? How creators weave their own experiences, maybe frustrations, into stories to challenge how we, the audience, see things.
It suggests that relationship between creator and audience is complex.
Yeah.
They've carefully managed.
Definitely. The emotional journey we went on here was totally constructed, but for a specific purpose, not just for the sake of the story itself.
So maybe a final thought for you listening right now. As you're scrolling, watching, consuming all this online content,
Yeah.
How might this whole goose saga make you pause? Make you maybe question the emotional hooks you feel?
And maybe push you to look a little deeper, to try and figure out the intentions behind the story.